तो हमने इस बार का जो स्टेट लिया, इस बार का जो स्टेट लिया है दैट इज मणिपुर। जैसे कि आपको मालूम होगा नाम मणिपुर, मणि के माने मणिपुर, हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं मणिपुर, राइट? वहाँ पैसे बहुत होते हैं, वहाँ पे ना बहुत सारे पैसों के पेड़ हैं, तो उसको मणिपुर बोलते हैं अगर कोई यूएस का होगा तो। लेकिन असली नाम उसका है मणिपुर। मणि मीन्स जूल्स और जेम्स, सो इट्स अ लैंड ऑफ जूल्स एंड जेम्स बिकॉज देयर इज लॉट ऑफ, कहते हैं ना माइंस, वहाँ पे सोने की बहुत हैं, चांदी की हैं, प्लेटिनम की हैं, और कौन से स्टील की भी खाने हैं, बहुत सारी हैं, राइट? No, it's all about natural beauty because it's so much beautiful country or state that's called Manipur because the land of jewels. There is nothing fancy out there as far as modern things of jewelry and all those concerned. So I'll start with saying that.
Already turned off Anujaji. Anujaji बोल रहे मैं क्यों जा रही हूँ?
So I'll start with a little pointer if we have somewhere here.
Pointer. Somebody had the pointer.
On the top, maybe on the shelf.
Oh yeah, it's there. So, okay, I have to wear my glasses. So, can anybody guess, looking at this state here, how big of a state would this be compared to one of the US states? And we have chocolate. Any guess, right?
Rhode Island.
I'm going to go with Delaware.
Delaware, Rhode Island, and one more guess.
New Jersey.
भाई साहब आज शुगर की कोई चिंता नहीं है। So yeah, it's around 8,500 square miles of land, and but guess what? The population is 1/3 of the New Jersey. New Jersey has almost like 10 million, and that is only 3 million. It's because 90% of that is all hilly terrain. So with that in mind, the thing that I want to tell about Manipur is that so hilly area, but I would let Vidhu go towards that, but I just want to tell you that the population is equivalent to Kansas, and Kansas is 35th state of this 35th as far as population is concerned. So land mass of New Jersey, population wise Kansas state, and it's all related to because of the hills in there.
All right, everyone, my name is Vidhu. Never mind, I take that back.
That's okay, I just don't want it to be
My name isn't
for a long
Vidhu.
time. As most of you guys know who we are, so let's just cut the chase. So when he mentioned about the hilly terrain of Manipur, who can guess that what will be the best food for the people living there to get their nutrition?
Right?
Dogs.
Rice, I heard rice here. What next?
Meat.
Goat meat, okay. And who else?
Hot dog.
No, so interestingly, their diet is based on fish.
Fish.
Yeah, so it's a fish called pangba, and they are, and I think Arunji and Bhartiji might be knowing a little bit about it, but because but it's fish and rice, and other vegetables they include is corn, and they also use a lot of chili, and it's different from Chinese cooking because they use very less oil. So it's more healthier, and they prefer one type of special rice which is called black rice, which in Whole Foods you can get it as forbidden rice. And they make a special pudding with it, and it's called chak hoi, and it's sitting right here. I will need somebody to just pass around with the spoons here and see. It is I would like you guys to try it because it's very similar, because it's made with it's very similar to our kheer, but it's made because it's made with rice and milk. But see the color, that's the color that it got by cooking the black rice.
It's like chocolate pudding, black
Correct.
rice.
Black rice is I think it's a seed of a grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is. It's called Forbidden Rice in Whole Foods. If you go and check it out. Yeah, it just has milk, a little bit of elaichi, and black rice.
ये चम्मच छोटा
काजू डालेंगे
वो black rice के लिए तीन
बड़ी चम्मच ले आते हैं
चम्मच चाहिए।
सब लोग चक्के फिर दे देते ना
और नीचे से आप लोग ट्राई करिएगा कि हाँ ब्लैक राइस आ जाए so that you can see so like I said that this rice was very special because Chinese emperor would get that rice from Manipur.
और चम्मच जान के छोटी रखी गई ताकि सिर्फ चखे
ये बाद में रख दिया जाएगा हाँ, and maybe that's why it was called forbidden because nobody else was allowed to eat it.
एक पेपर वाली
That's why the chamach is because it's forbidden. Is it vegetarian?
It's forbidden.
Everybody was spitting very good. I guess it's cooking.
Okay. Alrighty, so next question, part of this whole trivia concept that we have going on apparently with everyone. The next question is, obviously, as my dad had said, it's a very hilly, mountainous region. It's the size of New Jersey, but with only the third of the population. So, how much of the country, just guess out there to the nearest 5%, how much of the country do you think is covered by vegetation, as opposed to being developed for farmland, or cities, or towns, or anything? Just guesses out there.
70%.
70%. Any other guesses? You can say any number up to 100%. It's not 100%. 90. What do you 96. 96. So okay, those are pretty high actually. It's like around 60%. So 60% of the whole country is all vegetation, different types of flora. But also with different types of flora, there comes different types of fauna. So there's a lot of different types of animals. Obviously you have, like lions, tigers, deer, bears and all that, but there's one very unique animal. You may have heard of it. It's called a gaur. A gaur.
Yes, it's like a yak, right? Yeah.
Yes, and you guys gotta see this thing. It is massive. It's like a bison here in America. I don't know how many people have seen bison out west. You see, like they're really big. They're really what I would say is like front heavy. Like they're like really big in the front. They have like huge shoulders, like the little horns, like the big heads. Gaur like that, but like on steroids that no one's even imagined exist. You just got to see a picture of these guys. They're crazy. So they're really well known there because they symbolize like a lot of like the strength of the people and everything. They symbolize a lot of durability and survivability and like a tougher kind of environment and everything. And so when you guys see it, you'll know why. It's like really big, it's really long, all muscular. It can't raise its head above a certain level. It has really big horns, so you can see why people would respect a creature like that. So yeah, that's my first question, and then we'll move on, I think.
So as my brother was just talking about the environment, a lot of the land is not really developed, so there's not really much to do, and throughout history, when people get bored, what do? They come up with sports. So, some of the most commonly played sports in Manipur include horse polo and field hockey, and also wrestling. And fun fact, the modern day horse polo that we know now, the one that's on the logo of Polo brand, actually started in India. And in Manipur, specifically. And so, here's my question for anyone who's a sports buff. What's the most famous sport to come out of Manipur?
Boxing?
Boxing.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
You guys know the answer. Yeah, Mary Kom. Mary Kom was born and raised there. She still lives there today, and she's
She got the 6th title just now.
Yeah, she's one of her
She
6
just got a 6th world title.
Okay, keeping up with it.
Talking of sports buff.
I'm a fan after the movie.
Yeah.
Priyanka Chopra.
So he's a sports buff or movie buff?
Yeah, so Mary Kom is actually one of the only Indian women, if not the only Indian woman, who's internationally known for boxing. So that's just something that you wouldn't really expect to come out of Manipur, but it's just
What
one
was
of
the
the
Indian
little
movie?
Mary Kom.
On the movie.
Yeah, so that's just one of the many things that unexpectedly comes out of Manipur.
All right. Other information I have is that one of the biggest lake in the northeast India is called Loktak Lake. Loktak Lake. Tuck Lake. It is it is huge. But a unique feature of that lake is that there are some floating areas of masses. Anybody know what the name of that would be? It's called Phumdis. Phumdi. Phumdis. Oh, okay. So Phumdis. So these are floating areas on the lake. Now, one of the largest Phumdi is called Kaibul Janta Lamjaw. Kaibul Lamjaw. It is 40 square kilometers big. So you can think how big it is. And this is the only floating national park in the whole world. So Manipur has this title of having the biggest bison in the world, coming out with the polo park, and then one of the only floating national park in the world is in Manipur on this lake. Now, on top of that, there's only one of the rarest deer that is found anywhere in the world. It's only in Manipur. It's called Sanjai. Have you heard? Sangai or Sangai. So there is a movie, small movie. Right there. You moved to New Jersey. So Sangai deer. So Sangai deer lives in that 40
It's an animal. It's an animal.
Deer, it's a deer. It's a deer. It's called dancing deer, you know.
Dear Sanjay.
It's called a deer. So when it runs or moves, it looks like it's dancing. So its other name of that is called dancing deer because, as I told you, these are floating areas on the water. So when they walk, it is like, you run on a boat, you feel like you're doing this, not walking straight. So it's called dancing. And in 1972, it was only 16 left, but today with the preservation and conservation, there are 260 of those real deers that is only in that area of the Manipur. So that's a unique part of Manipur.
Alrighty, so for the second question that I have, obviously there's a lot of people who thrive off of the lake that Pop had mentioned, obviously with the animal and the wildlife reserve and everything. There's also a lot of tourism and a big economy that sprung up because of that. So my question is, what is the name of the people who live in Manipur? What is the largest tribal group in Manipur?
Manipuri.
Okay, technically that's not wrong. What's the actual name though? What is the name that they call themselves? Anyone? So what we call Manipur is actually called Meitei, or the Meitei people.
Imphalis people, right?
Imphalis Imphala is the capital of Manipur, and so people from there are called Imphalis. But that's kind of like what we call there's like a name, there's like a specific type of word that defines that. But anyway, so Meitei is and people who are endemic to Manipur, and so they are around 53% of the population, and then the rest of the population is basically Nagas, which are another tribal group that came from Nagaland, which is right here north of Manipur, and the Kukis, which are a third tribal group. So the interesting thing is they all speak very many different languages, and this is one of the most amazing things about India is that when we think of Indian people, we think of like one type of Indian person, like your typical Indian person, but really there's a huge diversity even within the country. And you can see it in this one small state right here. So the biggest language is Meitei, which is around 50% of the language. Even though around 70% of the countries are Hindu and the other 30 are Christian, Hindi is a language that's only 1% of the entire usage of the entire country. So it's not really even all that often. It's not. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the state. So Hindi is only spoken by around 1% of the population of the entire state. Which is crazy to me because like you would think like as like one of the biggest languages in India that would be like spoken so widely everywhere, but really it's kind of not. So that's my cool thing.
Speak English over there or no?
They do speak English, but that's like also like the bottom like 5% of like it's like 50% Meitei and then like 40% like 4 different like languages that have origin from like Thailand and from like that area.
Their own language also, Manipuri language.
Well, yeah, that's what Meitei is. So Meitei, when someone says Manipuri, it's actually Meitei, and we just say Manipuri because that's what we say. Like it's like saying you're from UP, you speak, or you're Punjabi, you speak Punjabi, kind of.
The IT people can remember. Mighty.
Yeah, exactly. Meitei, like the grain.
Mighty IT.
Okay, so kind of switching gears towards a more historical point of view. Does anyone know, this is kind of a tough question, does anyone know how Manipur helped in India's fight to freedom back in the 40s? Sanika?
That's pretty precise.
Oh, well, I was thinking more like historical events. But so, does everyone know who Subhash Chandra Bose is? Netaji? Yeah, so as we all know, or some of us know, I didn't know, he was a freedom fighter, just like Gandhiji, except he actually took an opposite stance from Gandhi. Whereas Gandhi was very peaceful, Netaji said, no, we need to take up arms. And he went so far as to collaborate with Germany and Italy and Japan in World War II to try and get that freedom from Britain. So actually, India got its freedom in 1947, but back in 1944, on April 14th, his birthday, Netaji, April 14th, 1944.
Remember that, it's an important date in history.
44.
संजय भाई की रिकॉर्ड हो गई है
44. 1944.
Pre-tax day,
Yeah.
pre-tax day.
Yeah, right.
So 3 years before India even got its freedom, Netaji first raised the tricolor flag that we all know and love, Jai Hind, in Manipur.
wow that is a
And
good
said that India will be free.
oh that is really good
So
In an airport.
And then he asked for blood donation.